Networks Northwest and the Housing Solutions Network are coordinating and hosting the second annual Northwest Michigan Housing Summit. We've invited different housing stakeholders and community leaders from all over our 10 counties. So we have a really diverse audience here today. We have a lot of local government representatives, developers, businesses, housing agencies, just members of the public, planning commissioners, so all over the board. We hear a lot about housing issues and the challenges that all the communities in our region are experiencing with primarily workforce housing, shortages of rental housing, ownership housing that's affordable to moderate income families. So we hear a lot about those challenges, and there's a lot of interest in the different solutions that are out there to address those at the local level. From different sectors that are involved, public, private, nonprofit. And today what we want to do is share some of the strategies that communities have been talking about and working towards, so that other parts of the region can learn from what has been done, and also some of the new approaches to things like financing housing and dealing with some of the public opposition to housing projects and getting past some of the regulatory barriers that are out there. I know that when we hear about the housing shortages that we're experiencing in our region, a lot of times we hear the phrase affordable housing, and we are talking about housing that's affordable to different parts of our community, but we're not necessarily talking about subsidized housing or low-income housing. I know that those phrases often get confused with affordable housing. What we are focused on right now is primarily workforce housing, because that means so much to such a great deal of our population. It can be, when we talk about workforce housing, we can be talking about rental housing, home ownership housing. Sometimes it's subsidized or restricted to certain income levels, but not always, definitely not always. All of the different stakeholders that are here today each have a different role to play in addressing our housing challenges here in the region. And we know that there's not one single answer, one single solution to our housing challenges. It really takes efforts from all different parts of the community. And all of those different stakeholders, all of whom have different roles to play, all need to be participating. So what we hope happens here today is everyone gets a better understanding of what their roles are and what opportunities they may have to address some of our housing challenges. And they take that back to their communities or their businesses or their organizations and are able to get started on implementation of some of those strategies. We're really focused here today on action. We know that there's been a lot of talk and conversation about what the housing challenges are. We know they're out there. So what we want to focus on here today is how we address those and what specifically we need to do next to meet our regional housing needs.